Oh yeah, 100%. The buds are starting on the maples, guys. I'm going to show you guys something that happened to my generator recently. I was running my generator one evening, trying to charge up my power stations and whatnot, and it just started making a crazy loud noise. So I shut it off. I came out here and I inspected it all over. Everything looked fine, and then I fired it on while I was out here. Well, imagine this was still on here, and I could see something moving around in here, like violently shaking about and whatever. So anyway, got this pulled off. The pull cord lost this little piece here on the other side of this many months ago. It happened like 2 different times, I believe. So this was just wrapped up in here, but a string or a piece of it must have, when the wind blew, must have somehow just got like wrapped in the flywheel, and it actually ripped this piece that was right here. This piece that was right here, that got ripped completely off. This rope, the pull cord, was just tangled real bad into this flywheel. Anyway, got it ripped off. So what I'm gonna end up doing, I think, is just cutting the rope out of here completely, because even if I tie this back on the other side, this here is now damaged. The rope's not gonna sit in behind it. And honestly, I never use the pull cord anyway, because the electrical always works for me. So just to make sure, I mean, obviously this can run without the cover on it, but I just feel like when it's running, something might blow up into that and cause another issue. So I'm gonna cut this rope right out of this and probably just mount that back on there to kind of sort of a protective covering, you know, against this here, so nothing gets jammed up in there while I'm running it. And it's spinning at a very fast speed. Anyway, that's just one other little thing. Glad it wasn't anything major though. Man, this generator has 9 lives. Sometime soon here, maybe on a nicer day, I've got to change the oil. It's starting to get kind of dark. Yeah, I've got the rope cut out of that. I'm going to put this in the wood stove. Unless you want to play with it first? Get it. Get it. There you go. Something to play with. It's a toy. Okay. Say bye. Say bye to your string. Say bye to it. It's going in the wood stove.
Burn, baby, burn! Disco Inferno!
Okay, we got 3 of these hex screws, and takes 10 mil. There! Oh, it's a little... Is that what's loose? No, it should at least protect that flywheel. The string is gone, and we don't have to worry about this happening again. Let's fire this on. Make sure it'll come on and still work properly. Sounds like it's working good to me. Yeah! It's lovely, lovely. Uh-huh. It's officially spring, but I haven't seen any evidence of that yet. Fishing season starts in about a week, I believe. Not sure how that's gonna work. I guess you could stand on a snowbank and cast onto the ice. Another snowstorm Monday. I don't know what it is. Mondays this winter have been the snowstorm days, but tomorrow is supposed to be sunny, still around freezing. At this point, I think I'm going to wait and clean all this stuff off the vehicles, off the solar tomorrow, because it's just supposed to snow consistently till about 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. So I feel like there's no point for me to clean it now. In other news, it's been 9 years, guys. Crazy. For 9 years, I've been saying no to the societal norm of sticks and bricks living, you know? House, apartment. I've been in this RV, this camper, this travel trailer for 9 years by the time you see this. I don't know where the time has gone. That's absolutely insane to me. Yeah, it was the end of March in 2017. Normally, people don't buy RVs in the middle of winter, but that is exactly when I bought this one. It was in January that I purchased it. I started doing things to it right away, like ripping out the old green carpet that was on the floor here, ripping out the dinette that used to be right there, because I knew eventually I'd be putting a wood stove here. Putting my stick-down tile, which worked great, except for over here near the wood stove where the heat made it all lift up in places. It's been a journey, but I started doing some of those things right away and moved in at the end, toward the end of the month. I think it was like the last week of March in 2017. At the time I was renting a room in a cabin. I had a roommate, and my roommate was moving out before or by April 1st. And so I had the option of either staying and taking over the full rent of the cabin or also leaving. And I thought, well, I'm not paying that full rent. I'm gonna leave too. My roommate was kind enough to let me know that she'd be leaving like months before actually leaving. That's when the planning began with getting an RV. Fortunately for me, I'm blessed enough to have family that lets me stay here on the land that I'm on. It's been a huge help and a life changer because it did allow me to become debt-free. Eventually, it took me 5 years to get there, but I had all kinds of things happening at the time that were just keeping me in that hole, you know? Do you want to go outside? Because I had the pillow there because it's really breezy and this was very drafty, but your cat door is available, but I know you want me to let you out, so there you go. The option's there. See if I'll actually do it. You're letting all the cold air in, man, so get out there or stay in. Make your choice. Oh, that... Is he gonna do it? Very, very slow. You're like a sloth, dude. Get out there. Oh my god. Rory's like me. I don't think he cares so much for the winter time. It's not that nice out there, is it? You've got the nice warm wood stove in here. Freezing on the paw pads. I don't think you'll want to be out there for long. You want to come back in? Alright. Okay. That didn't last long. He's like me. He doesn't like the winter. Which brings me to the next thing. This camper, this RV that I'm living in and have been living in for the last 9 years, this was actually supposed to be a summer home for me. At the time, I knew that I could do it comfortably from about April to October, but I did not think that I would be able to live in this full-time all winter. That actually just ended up happening. I believe it was September or October I got my first wood stove put in here, and I say first because the first one was like a barrel stove. Trust me when I tell you that that thing was dangerous. It got so hot in here. There were times it hit 40 in here with that stove. Yeah. It wasn't airtight, so I couldn't really control it well. Needless to say, when that was put in here and I was running it, you know, in September or October, I was like, okay, well, it's quite warm in here. I think I would be just fine in here in the winter time. So that turned into me spending my first winter here. I will say that I burned a hell of a lot of wood with that stove. Some of you might even remember that stove. I'm not sure if you're like an OG. It would get dangerously hot to the point where I would have to open up all the windows in here. And then I'd go back to bed and I'd wake up and it would be freezing in here because all the windows were open and the fire was out. So I didn't get the best sleep that winter. But just like everything else with this place and the new experience for me, everything just kept getting better with time and more improvements were taking place in time. After that first winter, I think it was after the first winter, I ended up getting my airtight wood stove that I have now. I found it on Marketplace for about $100. And that's been a game changer. It's made a huge difference. It's made it so much more livable in here. Got something you'd like to say? Okay, well, your breath really smells, man. I gotta tell you that. He doesn't know what he's doing. There he goes. I guess just for this 9 years, I thought it would be fun to throw it back and explain kind of how this all started. The camper wasn't officially moved here and off-grid until June. So I moved in at the end of March. I stayed in it, plugged into power and running the furnace, because the furnace actually worked at the time, for several months until the spot that I'm in now was cleared and the gravel was laid down and it was ready for the camper to be moved here. So in June, it'll be 9 years off-grid. I gotta tell you, man, it was a complete learning curve for me. I knew nothing about campers. I knew nothing about RVs. It was just like I was learning from the beginning. I didn't know where my water tanks were. I didn't know where my pump was. I didn't know what most of the switches were. I had to learn it all from scratch. It was like I was brand new to it all. Thankfully, at that time anyway, there were plenty of groups online about full-time RV living, and I learned so much by asking questions to people who have done it or had done it. It can definitely be trying times living this way, that's for sure. It's not for the weak, and it's not for everybody. I started out with a car battery on the tongue of the trailer. That was my house battery. I had a small 20-watt panel that I think my dad gave me just to keep a trickle charge on said battery. 2 rusty 20-pound propane tanks. Found out later that my main propane line underneath was rusty and rotted. Eventually I had to replace that. That explains why I was going through a 20-pound tank every 2 days. Yep, a lot of learning. But eventually that 20-watt panel turned into a 40-watt panel, which eventually turned into 120 watts of solar. And then eventually 330 watt. Anyway, this was supposed to be a summer home. So it's really kind of funny that what was supposed to be a summer home ended up being my full-time home for 9 years. If you think RV living can't be done in a cold climate in the winter, you're wrong. It can be done. I guess I'm proof of that. But if you're going to do it, consider either a wood stove or a much better job at insulating, because I just didn't do any extra insulating in my RV here. When the wind blows, the snow's blowing around like crazy out there. As much as I like to complain about the snow, I guess sometimes those snow days are the days that kind of turn into somewhat of a rest day for me. I'm just not doing a whole lot today. Probably could clean my home a little bit because that desperately needs to be done, but sometimes this type of weather just gives me zero motivation. So I end up doing things like cracking one of these and just chilling. A few of you have made comments about I never rest or relax or take it easy. For the most part, that's true, but days like this, like I said, I have zero motivation. It's snowy outside, it's miserable outside, and sometimes I don't even want to do things inside, like clean, when I know I really should. This dude doesn't mind. I think you like it when I hang out in here with you all day. 'Cause it doesn't happen much, does it? No, definitely doesn't. And I'm sorry. I work a lot, I'm always doing projects, and I don't get to just chill and hang out with you much. So today, you got me in here all day. How do you like that? You'll be sick of me by tonight. Guaranteed. I'm just gonna chill and hang out for a little bit, enjoy my storm seltzer. Complaining lately about just not having time to make meals and whatnot, but I have time today. So tonight for supper, I'm gonna be making something that I don't think I've ever made on this channel before, but hopefully it'll be good. I'm sure it'll be yummy. I'm just standing here enjoying my seltzer and looking around. The place is a mess. I've just been chucking things places. But it made me realize that I really did have some trying times in this 9 years I've been here. At the time that I was looking for a camper to purchase, like I mentioned, it was January. And I was looking on this buy and sell website. I think at the time it probably only had about 10 RVs on there because it's winter. But there was this one, and I kept coming back to this one. It looked clean in all the pictures. From what the ad said, there was nothing wrong with it. Everything worked. Found out later the AC didn't work. Could have been something simple, but I just didn't bother fixing it because I'm off grid anyway, you know. I have to run my generator to run that thing. Anyway, everything except for that worked in here. And then summer hit and my fridge wasn't staying cold. Before this, I had a propane fridge, 3-way propane and electric fridge. And I tried everything. I could not get that thing cold. Turns out there was a squirrel nest on top of the vent, you know, for the heat to escape. Nice and warm, great spot for the winter time to like post up and make a home. The fact that the fridge couldn't properly exhaust, it wasn't staying cold. So it definitely took some time to figure that out. But eventually I did, and the fridge was cold again until it stopped working. And then I took it to be repaired, and because it's a propane fridge, it cost me almost $1,000 to fix, which I did. And then a year later, it died again. It was under warranty, got it fixed for free. Anyway, I think the final straw was the fact that it like pretty much almost caught on fire. It would get so hot in the back. But just thought I'd share the fact that it hasn't always been a breeze. Last but not least, I had a leaking water heater. I did not know it was leaking until probably like 2 years in. My pump went off every like 10 minutes. And I didn't know anything about RVs at the time. I just thought that that's what they did. Turns out I had a leak in my water heater. Took me a long time to figure it out. I don't use that water heater now, obviously. It's completely bypassed. And I have a tankless water heater, which is so much better. It's just these little things that you kind of find along the way. I'm glad they all happened. Yeah. At the time, all of those things were definitely testing me. You gotta have grit to live this way, man. You gotta have grit. That's RV life, man. Eh? What do you think? Has it been trying for you? Has it been a struggle for you? No? Doesn't look to be. You seem pretty comfortable and happy and fed and watered. I don't think you've ever had any issues with it. Still coming down a little bit, not crazy, like I said, just a little bit of snow constantly until about 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. It's just gonna keep adding up and adding up. From what I could tell in the driveway, there's a few inches there. Problem is, we had that one teaser day where it was sunny and 20. Yeah. Oh, now this. Okay, getting hungry, so I went to light my stove to start supper. And I've got a new problem altogether. Oh. Now, I did not run out of propane. Got lots of propane. That's actually a brand new tank that I swapped it to there last week. This has happened to me before, and I think what's happening has to do with the regulator. I believe the diaphragm is going bad in the regulator, and so it starts to get moisture and then freezes, and then you have this issue where you can't get propane. Talk about trying times, man. And I know what you're going to say before you say it. Yep, I'm psychic like that.
Why don't you just cook on your wood stove?
Because my wood stove has a really slow, low burn right now, and I can't regulate the temperature, and it might take me 3 hours, okay? Or, if the fire's going too good, I might have oil flying all over the place. So, there's that. It's just so fitting, you know?
Happy 9 years to me.
I don't really feel like swapping out my regulator right now in this cold. I could forego this supper tonight and just maybe make it tomorrow night. I don't have this problem when the temperature is warmer, and it just started happening. So obviously it has to do with the moisture getting into the regulator and then causing freezing, and I can't get propane. So I don't know if anyone else has had that issue, but that is a thing, and it has happened to me 3 times in the 9 years I've been here. So, yeah. Check this out. Got the generator running. I know you can't see much out there, but I just went out and took my hair dryer and thawed out the regulator. So now my stove is working. I can heat up my water and do my dishes. Problem being, I got hungry and impatient, and I went ahead and ate a salad for supper. I'm gonna go ahead and do my dishes, and then tomorrow, I think the temperature is supposed to be right above freezing tomorrow, so my regulator should be okay. Oh, it's the next morning and the sun is out, so I've got to get my solar cleared off so it actually benefits me somewhat. There's still a layer of ice on these panels, but I'm thinking getting rid of all that big mound of snow, the sun should get through that a lot quicker and hopefully melt it off, and maybe I'll actually see some solar today after all. No ice on these panels. I think it's because the sun has been sitting over here for a while already. So shouldn't take long for those ones over there then in that case. So I don't actually have a cover suited for 30-pound tanks. This one here was for my 20-pound tanks. It doesn't really fit overly well. But I wrapped my regulator and put that on top. And I'm still not getting propane coming through, so when I do some cooking I'll just have to come out with the hair dryer again and thaw out the regulator. I've lost count of how many times I've said this, but I really hope this was the last snow of the year. Heck yes, that didn't take long. Full solar coming in on the EcoFlow. And guess what else? It's officially above freezing, which also means my propane is staying on. My regulator is not frozen, so we're good. Trying to somewhat shovel my car out, at least enough in front of it to get a run on. There's a few inches of snow down, but the driveway underneath the snow is no longer frozen, you can see. So I don't really want to get the driveway plowed, because then all of my gravel is going to go with the blade and tear my driveway up. So I kind of have to leave it, and I don't want to shovel this whole thing. So I think what I'm going to do is fire up my car, get a run on, see if I can't make it to the end of the driveway, and maybe just make a few passes up and down to kind of plow it with my car. Does that make sense? I've done that plenty. Worked a lot better when I had my 4-wheel drive truck, but alas, we'll see what happens. Okay, we're good. I wanted to do that now while the sun's out, and I guess before tonight when everything drops down to freezing again and this might crust over and get hard and icy. We're good. Now I know we'll get out for work in the morning. Yay! I might need to replace the catio roof this spring or summer, because I was just cleaning it off, and I mean, there was some heavy snow on there, but this literally just broke off the edge. It was a piece that was kind of overhanging. I'm happy that the sun did come out and a lot of that snow is actually melting off the roof. It is about 4:30. It's still just slightly above freezing. So I think I'm going to start cooking my supper now while the regulator isn't frozen up on me and I actually can use my stove. Like I said, I can either thaw it out with the hair dryer or swap out the regulator. But as I mentioned, we're soon getting into above freezing temperatures consistently, so I just don't see the need in swapping out my regulator just yet. Not until at least before next winter. So remind me in the fall to swap out my regulator, please. Tonight's supper is going to involve chicken with flour, with breadcrumbs and oil, and also egg. I need to scramble up some egg for an egg wash, but I got my flour here, I got my breadcrumbs here. I also added, because I like a little spice, smoked paprika, cayenne pepper, garlic powder, and a little bit of pepper. Alright, I've got my 2 chicken breasts halved, got my egg wash, and of course the flour and the breadcrumbs. Ooh, I better mix in all my spices. I just kind of threw that all in there. So now I'm waiting for my oil to heat up, and we'll go ahead and get started with these. Checking if my oil's ready. That looks like it's probably about ready to me. I was actually supposed to do it in flour first, then egg wash, then breadcrumbs. But we'll do it in egg wash, flour, back in egg wash, and then in breadcrumbs. Because why not? Let's just do things a little different around here, okay? Into the breadcrumbs. Okay. Breadcrumbs on both sides, all over. Yep. And then let's go put it in our pan and watch it fry, baby. Okay, let's see if I can not burn me digits. Woo! Seems like that's frying up pretty dang fast. Woo, that one got a little bit of burnt. Maybe I should turn my heat down a little here. Yeah, that's alright. There's a little bit of hardness, you know. I'm a frequent flipper, but apparently I wasn't frequent enough with the one side there. Yeah. Definitely cooking these on a lower flame. I don't want them to burn as quickly as the other ones did. These ones still look good though. I just ripped the skin off this one. I know, fried food is not good for you. But neither are the frozen dinners I've been eating because they're fast and convenient. Starting to brown up now at a slower pace. That's good. I'm getting my bun ready for this fried chicken. I'm having chicken burgers, but not the frozen kind. Needed some creamy chipotle cholula. I'm going to be having it with some maple bourbon salad, I guess. What's that looking like? I cut it in half basically and double stacked it because it was just too long and hanging over the bun here. Put a little of my salad in under it because I don't have any lettuce. I think it's gonna be good if I can fit it in my mouth. Oh yeah, squeeze it down. You can make that work. Yep. Very good. So much better than a frozen chicken burger that you just throw in the oven. So much better. And I know I've had this maple bourbon before, but I'll eat it, but I'll make a mental note that it's not my favorite. I mean, tell me that doesn't look good. This is freaking delicious, man. Got some leftover fried chicken that makes work meals easier for me the next couple days. I'm definitely disappointed that I forgot I had a bag of crispy onions. Those would have been good both on the chicken burger and in the salad. Whew, supper was good. Cheers to 9 years. Still so wild to me. I think I can confidently say that I'll probably be living the same kind of lifestyle within the next 9 years as well. And just so fitting that as I was talking about trying times, my regulator decided to do what it just did. Anyway, that's RV life for you. It's not always the easiest sometimes, but I can say with certainty that it is damn worth it. In my opinion, anyway. I think I'm going to drop off here, finish my beverage, and just relax for a moment before I tackle the mess that is the supper disaster. I like to cook and I like to eat, but I hate cleaning up and doing dishes. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Cheers. Nine years of RV living, soon to be 9 years of off-grid RV living. I think soon I can drop the amateur status.